All right, so one of my favorite things about growing up was always having a village. You know what I'm saying? Always being surrounded by adults who cared and who was invested in our lives, and not just that being limited to our immediate family. So, my grandma being the voice of our house, even though my grandfather's in the house,
Right.
I had my father in my life at the end of that. But grandma was the voice of the house. She had a big voice in the community and on the block. Any adult on the block could whoop our ass if we was out of line, could check us if we was out of pocket, and it wasn't no questions asked about it. Like, we knew what it was. Even coming down to the Arabs at the corner store, you know what I'm saying? They'd come from behind the counter and get us together and walk us to the crib if we was in there trying to steal or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we always had that village, and even when I grew up and went to my other side of the family, I had a cousin who would always throw a barbecue for his anniversary, his wedding anniversary. And at that barbecue, he would have, his wife would be there, his baby mom would be there, and then his baby mom had two other baby daddies who had sons by her as well. All the kids is there, all the baby daddies there. You know what I'm saying? It's this big thing, and there's no egos, there's no problem. These dudes is actually friends. They not avoiding each other.
Yeah.
They can call each other directly, like, "Hey, I'm finna go pick up your son. Go pick up your son. I'm finna take the boys out." Keeping all the boys together and things like that, because they are brothers at the end of the day, even though they got different fathers. So that's what I saw growing up. I saw community. I saw a village. I saw camaraderie. And now we live in a space where, at least on the internet, there's this narrative that the worst thing that a man could do is be a stepfather. You know what I'm saying? Not the worst thing that a man could do is to leave a kid that he created. But the worst thing a man could do is take care of another kid that he did create. So that's where we are in society. I don't know how we got there. Maybe it's just something that happens on the internet. But we got to address it, man.
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
Popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
popping pills,
That's just what comes with being a man.
popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucking body.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas head
For sure. So, welcome back to another episode of Roses I Did. I am Terry Roseland.
I'm Jones. That was a delay like a
motherfucker.
motherfucker. I am Jones.
Another nigga. Hey, so welcome back to another week, man. We got some highlights and lowlights for the week. What you got, my boy?
Highlights for the week for me. I chopped it up with my therapist Tuesday. We hadn't talked in a month. I usually talk to her every other week, but for whatever reason, ain't talking in a month. I think one of our availability just was off. But it was a good session. I update. It's crazy how much much can happen in a month. I didn't think that it was just last month, but I had a shitload of stuff to talk to her about.
For sure.
But during that session, she helped me out a lot. She gave me a different perspective on, I wouldn't say like my situation, but maybe my outlook on my situation. Because obviously it's hard to really get that perspective when you're in it, and have that bird's eye view on some shit that you're in. Yeah. And obviously she knows damn near everything about me, so she was able to just switch my perspective and on what was going on. And I'll give a little bit more details. I give y'all one of the gems she gave me at the end of the episode, so stick around.
Absolutely. For me, highlights, when I started teaching in 2016, I taught fifth graders. And the way the school was set up is that you follow the kids that you have every school year. Now, I didn't stay in that school long enough for them to see them graduate eighth grade, which they would have graduated 2020 COVID pandemic year. But those are my boys. We had a tight bond, tight connection. One of them found me on Instagram. We chopped it up, and I ended up finding out that this year they're all supposed to graduate from high school, and he didn't graduate. He stopped going to school. So
what year?
He missed his whole senior year.
Okay.
He was doing some things, moving around back and forth, state to state. He had some different things going on. So I went. I picked him up. I took him down to the junior college. We registered him for an adult education program where he could finish his high school diploma and get a trade certificate at the same time. He also want to join the Roses I Did mentorship group. So we're gonna be locking in with him, and
looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, for sure, man. So that was big for me. We chopped it up about some of the other students and how they was doing and things like that. Some of them not still here, passed away. Well, one of them passed away from that particular group of boys. So we had some good talk. You know what I'm saying? We had some good talk for sure. Lowlights and pertaining to that same situation is that he was telling me that he witnessed a suicide a couple days ago, and a guy that lived on his block had shot himself in the throat and was I guess he had lost it mentally. He was still walking around on the block while, you know, after shooting himself in the throat until he expired, I say. So
that's interesting. He's still walking around after he did that shit.
Yeah. They say he lost it, like, mentally. Well, you know, that's what he told me. He said he lost it mentally. So, but another red flag in the situation was more so how calmly he talked about it, or how, like, detached emotionally he was from that experience. It was like, oh damn, that shit was crazy. Like he talked about it as if it happened years ago, or as if he saw it on TV or something, not as if like he witnessed it. Right? Like, yeah, it's like he's very desensitized and things like that. So, and I think that's something that a lot of us in Chicago, like, you know what I'm saying, experience, just being desensitized to gun violence or to death itself. You know,
what's the first thing, like, you hear some shit, somebody passed away or something crazy happened, what's the first thing that you say when you hear that shit?
Like, this shit crazy.
Like, man, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
like we are desensitized. Like we could hear it right now. Like, no lie, we could see come across our phone that 4 people got shot downtown and they all dead. We gonna be like, damn, this shit crazy.
I mean, we saw the video and went out and do some stupid shit. We gonna be laughing like a motherfucker,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I remember, I think we was desensitized when we was in Carbondale in college, my freshman year, and we was walking down the street, bro. I feel bad for laughing right now. We walking down the street, bro, and it's a big ass crowd of people outside these dorms, but it's like a low level dorm, which is still like 4 stories tall, right? And it's a big ass crowd. We walk up, me and the guys walk up like that. We all from Chicago. You know, everybody in college, you know, everybody say they from Chicago, some people from suburbs, people whatever. So we all walk up. We like, damn, what happened? They like, yeah, bro, somebody got pushed out the 3rd floor window. Like, this nigga got into it with his roommate, nigga threw him out the 3rd floor window. And we like, damn, he's like, damn, he's probably trying to grab shit on the way down. Like,
did he die?
He did, but we thought he was dead though. We assumed he was dead and was baking him though. Like,
how you baking this nigga for losing his life? What?
Bro, and like, again, this is like happening right now. It's not like, it's like everybody who live in the dorm is standing outside. Niggas looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, I was like, yeah, we was very desensitized.
Y'all was just ignorant.
Even at that age. Like, yeah, niggas was ignorant for sure. So, but yeah, this desensitization is a real thing here. And moving on, man. What we got? Any news?
No news.
But we got a consultation.
Let's hear it.
What's the consultation?
You just said, but we got a consultation.
You said it like we had. All right. We don't really got a consultation, but I will do this. So Jody has a sex party tomorrow, right? When I say tomorrow, I mean by the time y'all hear this, it will be tomorrow, which is 6/9, June 9th. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I see what you did there, Jody. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Her sex party is 6/9.
Yeah. That's National
Sex Day.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Jody always got a national random ass day going on. But anyway, her sex party, and she teaches sex. She teaches a ton of things about sex. So I want to give you all a list of questions that you can ask your girl after y'all had sex. Maybe it's the first, second, or third time. Questions that you can ask her to make sure the sex is on point. A lot of times, women is going to tell you the sex is on point to spare your feelings. Even if it's bad, or if it's not bad, if it's not good, but it's not bad, she's going to tell you it was good, right? A lot of times you'll ask her different questions and she'll just kind of overplay it a little bit just to make you feel better. So I'm going to go over some of these questions. There's 4 questions you can ask your girl to make sure the sex is on point. Question number 1, ask her what's her favorite position, right? that's a given. We always typically ask that anyway. It seems like every girl like it from the back. Every time I ask a girl that, she say from the back.
Yeah, from the back for sure.
Is that because they just like feeling dominated, or because it's more penetration? No. You don't have a mic. I'm not talking to you. Because of the position of the G-spot. Cool. Jody's in the background. All right. So, number 1, what's your favorite position? Number 2, ask her, what positions do you feel like, we don't really got to do that again, right? And the reason that you phrase it that way is because if you ask your girl, oh, what you like about having sex with me? She's gonna be like, everything. You're like, well, what you don't like? She's gonna be like, it ain't really nothing I don't like.
She's not gonna
come out and say it. You know, so you want to ask these questions in a way that make her let her guard down and feel like this is a real safe space to tell the truth. So you say it like that. What positions do you feel like, we don't really gotta do that again? That's kind of sugarcoating it a little bit. So she'd be like, well, we don't really gotta do that one again or that one again. That mean those positions was fucking trash, nigga. Don't do that shit no more. And then keep note of this shit. Don't just ask her this shit and then not listen and go back. That's really gonna make her pussy dry. If she tell you
if y'all go through this whole conversation and you bet, babe, bet, cool, yeah. And you go back and do the shit she told you not to do,
now you smoked.
It's over.
Number 3, what positions do you feel like we should do every single time? Now that sounds similar to the question of what's your favorite position, but it's a little different because you ask for multiple positions. Kind of get a range of what her top 3 is, things like that. All right. The next question, number 4, is what position makes you feel loved? Now, this isn't necessarily her favorite position, but this might be a position to where she just feels safe. She just feels more emotional. She feel like she wrapped around your finger a little bit more in this particular position. And that's just a position that you're going to want to touch on, you know what I'm saying? Especially on them big days. That's the position. This is going to be your making love position. You know what I'm saying? So those 4 questions that you can ask your girl to make her feel comfortable letting you know that your dick is trash. Right? We got anything else before we jump into this topic, man?
No. But to speak on the whole stepdaddy thing, that's crazy. The worst thing that you could do, the way they frame it is the worst thing you can do is raise another man's child. Like, yeah, you're a stepdad, and that's okay. But I want to try to date this. When did you first start hearing this on the internet? The most thing that sticks in my head is from when like the Red Pill podcast, but they got it from somewhere because this didn't used to be a problem.
I think that it only take one of them. I think that all the Red Pill podcast shit is niggas regurgitating what somebody else said. Right. Like it's very much.
Where did they get that from?
You could watch one Red Pill podcast and get all of them. Like you get all the information in one. They all saying the same shit. But I think Russell Wilson in the Future situation is what kind of started and made this emerge as a popular conversation. I think the Red Pill podcast jumped on that because and the Russell and Future shit is interesting because they are 2 damn near diametrically opposed beings. Like they are very much the opposite. Sierra very much went to the complete fucking opposite. Like, so it is something to kind of look at and say, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your type? You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, I feel like the way that whole situation unfolded put Russell Wilson in a bad situation. And I think that's why men started attacking him.
How did they put him in a bad situation? What you mean?
Okay, men knew Russell Wilson for 12, 15 years now, right? Like we always knew who Russell Wilson was. We never had a problem with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nigga was playing football, nigga won a Super Bowl. Did we always think he was corny? Yes, but it wasn't nothing to talk about. He's just a football player. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is corny, right? We don't talk about it. If he started dating Trina, we might be like, she dating this lame ass nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we always knew who Russell Wilson was. We didn't have a problem with him. Mm-hmm. When he started dating Sierra, and Sierra did the Sierra prayer, all this other shit, and now women positioned him as the father of the year for raising Future, it made niggas hate Russell Wilson.
And hate the title of stepdad.
Yes, I think that's kind of where all of this started, in my opinion. And that's just me, like, looking back at the trends of social media and what niggas was talking about. And I don't think that's fair to Russell Wilson. And it's not fair to Russell Wilson because I never heard a nigga say Nipsey Hussle was a simp for raising Lauren London's kid.
Ever.
Right? And that's Lil Wayne's baby.
Right.
So it's the exact same fucking situation. It's just two different niggas.
Yeah.
Right. So if being a stepdad it makes Russell Wilson a simp, it should make Nipsey Hussle a simp. But it don't. It's just y'all niggas just don't like Russell Wilson. Like let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So the whole okay, when it comes to being a stepfather, you could be it's almost like it's two kind of stepfathers. And it also depends on when you come into this child's life. So you could be a stepdad and you coming into the child life and you don't necessarily have the responsibilities of like a dad because their biological father is still in their life. He's present, doing what he's supposed to do. Him and the mama just not together no more. So now you're just an extension of this child's support system. And that's great. But sometimes you will come into a situation where the dad is not around, it's a deadbeat or whatever, and you are gonna have to play that role as a father. But you notice coming into it. So back then, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I don't think guys really had a problem with stepping up to the plate because to me it's honorable. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got your own kids and you passing on the same things you teaching to them and especially, and I could be biased, especially if it's a young man. Let's say you come into a young woman's life and her son is 3-4 years old. That's a beautiful, like, you can save his life damn near. You know what I'm saying? You can change the trajectory of his life just by, dating his mom or being with his mom and being a father to him or a father figure. I think it's just overall honorable.
Yeah, and I think some of the biggest bullshit that niggas say about it is like, oh, that kid is not gonna be part of your legacy. Ooh, like, how are they not gonna be a part of your legacy?
Right.
Like, your whole legacy on earth is not about who's related to you by blood or not. It's about the people whose lives you touch and affect. It's grown men who gonna be a part of your legacy. It's some people you never met before.
Yeah.
You think about a nigga like Kobe with this mama mentality shit that he started. Nigga, that should affect the world. It ain't about like his kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and his kids is great for them as well, but your legacy is so much bigger than that. So it's like just all of the narratives that you hear around it's just all bullshit to me.
And to keep it a buck, you niggas who talk like, y'all, you're not gonna have no legacy. What are you doing? Like, what's your legacy gonna be?
Your legacy is arguing with women on the internet.
That's your legacy. Like, you ain't doing nothing less, that monumental where niggas is about to remember that shit forever.
For sure.
Stop the cap.
Or you really Kevin Samuel's son, really.
Right.
Like, you really...
You want to be his protege. Like, you want to be Kevin Samuels Jr. type shit.
For sure.
But to speak to what you said, like the village aspect of it.
Yeah.
I grew up around the village. You know what I'm saying? When you were telling that story, I vividly remember I was a shorty and we outside playing and there was a parking lot, where everybody parked, obviously. And I seen a bottle. It wasn't nobody around. The kids was kind of like over there or whatever. My bad ass. I go over there. I just break the bottle just on some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I just threw that bitch and it kind of was like, it got close to the cars. Our neighbor actually was walking past as soon as I did that shit. Yeah. Boy, he came over, grabbed me by my motherfucking hand, walked me to the crib. Yeah. Like, yo, he just threw the bottle, his glass all in the parking lot. Ooh. Parents got on my ass. Like, that's a good example, you know what I'm saying, of a village. And I like the fact that it's no issue, which I think you said your cousins, like, everybody got like probably like different parents or whatever, but the guys could call the other dads and be like, yo, I'm gonna come pick up the boys or whatever. Yeah. And let's talk about, so with me and my son's mom, when we stopped dating or being together, I think when we was like 23, my son was, how old was that boy? I don't know, he was around 2-3 years old, whatever. Yeah. But I was never the type where, I wasn't the type of dad where like, I got to meet the nigga you finna be around who finna be around my kids. Or I was never like, you can't have nobody around my kids. I inherently knew that he was gonna have a support system outside of me because she's gonna continue to date, and that's cool with me. I never really cared.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So people I actually thought that was weird. That I didn't care. I just trust her judgment.
For sure.
I knew that you would pick a good enough guy that's gonna be around our son. Yeah. And I don't need to meet him unless y'all finna get ready to move in together.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't feel that. It took me a while to feel that way. At first, now I feel that way for sure. Yeah. And I've felt that way for some years. But originally, I didn't feel that way, and it was because of how close my son was to his mom. I felt like he would gravitate to her guy more than me if he was at that young age. Yeah. you know what I'm saying, at the young age of 1, 2 years old, I felt like him and his mom was like, even now they still inseparable, like, right? And me and him, like, obviously we got a super tight relationship. So now I don't give a fuck. Like, that nigga, we locked in. And it's been that way since 4, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But those first 3 years, it was like, I don't know. He might get around this nigga think he is daddy. This nigga with his mom all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that I was real insecure about that. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely, I feel like I should have been more secure about it. But it's a first time father. You know, we go through trial and errors. We grow through shit.
I was just so disconnected from like me and her personal relationship.
You didn't give a fuck.
not necessarily. Like in the best way though, in the best way. If you see this, in the best way, no smoke. But no, I didn't. I didn't care.
This definitely go to TikTok.
So yeah, no, I don't think. I just wasn't in the position to where I was super overprotective because I just trusted her judgment. And you know, this is your son too, and I would actually. I remember one time she had a boyfriend, and he really wanted to meet me, and I was like, bro, we really don't have to meet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like if my son gonna be living with you, if y'all move in together,
that's what I said. Like that wasn't the situation.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bro, I don't
gotta meet. I don't get no fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Low key, my perspective was if it's time, if I gotta meet you, there's a problem, and it's not gonna be like a good visit. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, cool.
I will say this. It depends. If it's casual, then no. But women do shit that they not supposed to do sometimes in casual situations. So she might. Like leave your fucking kid with him on some weird. This just how today worked out logistically. I left them together for an hour. Like, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like if you gonna be in a car with my son, it's just y'all two driving somewhere and it's a car accident. I need to know who the fuck you are. I need to know your first and last name, your address. I need to know who the fuck you are. Like, you know what I'm saying. If you changing my son diapers, you know what I'm saying. If you doing any of that, because women that get close to a nigga and just be doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So women will do that. My son, mama, she barely like. She's a huge overthinker. I trust her. I trust her judgment in a lot of different ways when it comes to him. She wasn't as I don't want to say careless, or not was as careless, but she's not careless at all when it came to him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I just didn't worry about that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong too. I do think it's some downsides to being a stepfather. I don't think it's all great. Before we get to that though, I would like to say this. I think the thing that bothered me the most when men say that being a stepfather is the worst thing that you can be is that they're not acknowledging the nigga who left the child, right? And when I hear in the red pill world they talk about, you know, niggas who left the child, they often blame it on a woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, well, she made that decision. She laid down with this nigga. She laid down with that nigga. Women give men access to sex and all this other bullshit. And it's kind of like, when you think about it, right, it's a lot of decisions being made when someone gets pregnant, right? First decision is to fuck raw. That's number one. That decision is on both parties. But it's 100% both people's fault. It's not a 50-50 thing. Because you're 100% responsible for your health. I'm 100% responsible for my health. So that's both people responsibility. Number two is he decided to bussin' her. Yeah. That's 100% his fault.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not her fault, right? Number three, she decided to keep the baby. Number four, he decided to leave. So it's 3-1 his way. Like it's majority that nigga fault. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times men on these podcasts and shit, they talk as if they don't realize that if a woman can't get pregnant unless you bust a nut in her.
Facts.
Like that has to happen, bro.
So y'all know my
you know what I'm saying?
My nickname.
Yeah.
And my old nickname.
And we have trolled and we talk shit. Like we talk shit sometimes, and I participated in it. Yeah. In the trolling and talking shit, like, man, if you decide to keep that baby, it's on you. But at the end of the day, it's just like, that's your responsibility as well. You know what I'm saying? And like, not acknowledging that is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole of the back and forth with that, because it's the accountability bounce back and forth so much.
Yeah.
But the whole you coming in a woman and it not taking into account that there's a possibility that she can become pregnant. That was my whole thing while, you know, I was doing whatever I was doing. I'm absolutely not going to come with you. I'm scared of shit of you getting pregnant, and I assume you're going to keep the baby.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with the women who used to, oh, you such a good daddy, you such a good daddy. You keep saying that.
So that's
shit.
a big part of it. If you the caliber of man that you are,
right,
and niggas feel like they're the caliber of man that they are, you should know not to bust in her.
Exactly.
You should expect her to keep this kid, regardless of what was said. So at the end of the day, I feel like this, right? If you know this woman can't get pregnant unless you come at her, and you make the decision, you felt the nut coming, you decided to leave it in, or you decided to be out here getting drunk, fucking, and don't remember what happened, whatever the case may be. This is your decision. She get pregnant, right? For you to blame her for keeping the baby is basically saying that I fucked up, but because you didn't clean up my fuck up, it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what you're saying, G.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, and I think that, like, we just in a tough generation right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're in a tough generation right now. And even regarding myself, like, I made that mistake. Like, when I think about what's the most humbling experience that I've ever had, it is being in a situation where I have 2 kids by 2 separate women. Like, that's probably the most humbling thing in my life right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not what I wanted. But at the end of the day, you know, even though that's not what I saw for myself at this point, I just got to be the example to say, like, hey, bro, this shit ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got no drama with nobody. Like, life is good. But at the same time, you know, things do get to the point where you don't have your kid in your household. You don't have the control that you should have as a man when it comes to what's going on with your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially when you got boys.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, like, you got a disciplinarian in one household, a nurturer in another household. They never getting what they need at the same time. You know what I'm saying? If you say, like, oh, well, I did some research on health and I don't want to, you know, feed myself poison and feed my kid poison. I want to be on a healthy diet. You can do that shit in your household. She gonna get that kid whatever. He gonna be eating Takis for breakfast over there. If that's what she want to do. You don't got no control over that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of little shit. You know what I'm saying? Shorty might call you one day and be like, hey, he said he really want these shoes, man. I want him to have these shoes. He said he really want them. You'll send me money for him? Oh, yeah, shit, no problem. Here, go to bed right here. Next thing you see your kid, like, look what mama bought me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get no, like, shit be kind of crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it don't really matter who get the credit for this shit. But at the end of the day, you get what I'm saying. Like, you're not in a position that you should be in as a father. Like, you out of position, and a lot of shit not gonna go the way you want it to go. You know what I'm saying? Or the way you feel like it should go. So,
and I feel
you gotta be more responsible.
For sure. And you might not get, you know, blessed or lucky like me, because my son live with me. Yeah. And has been shit for a while now. And that's a beautiful thing. But it was a decision on both of us to where it's like, we have a boy, we have a young man. He needs to be around his dad way more than his mom, because, you know, I don't want him picking up, you know, your mannerisms, your habits, your, you know, everything about a woman, because a woman gonna be a woman. You know what I'm saying? And if your son is watching her get ready, you know, dancing and whatever, and all, he's going to pick up those mannerisms.
Bro, my son came in my room the other day. He got out the shower, he had a towel on, he had this shit up around his chest. Like, you don't have titties, bro. He was like, oh, my bad. I'm like, bruh. I called his mom, I'm like, hey, you know, we got to kind of start watching some of those, man. I'm pretty sure he got that from you. She's like, yeah, I get it, but that ain't no big deal, though. I'm like, no. But it is, because he's not going to just stop doing that shit for no reason. Like, we got to stop assuming he gonna grow out of shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop assuming that he gonna wake up one day and just be different and be disciplined and clean up after himself and separate his drawers from his pants and shit. Like, we got to get on his ass about that shit right now. Like, and it got to be a team effort, because again, co-parenting, and I feel like we use that co-parenting term loosely. I feel like it's a difference between co-parenting and sharing a child. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Co-parenting is, hey,
we're both on the same page.
We on the same page. He got a routine over here. Yes. He got the same routine over there. Yes. He can't eat bullshit over here after a certain time. He can't eat bullshit over. He only video games on the weekend. Both houses. But if it's discipline and routines over here, video games only on weekends over here, and over there he can do what the fuck he want. We not co-parenting. We just sharing the kid. That's, you know what I'm saying? And what they end up learning is, it's not that I can't do this, it's that I can't do this around him. You know what I'm saying?
And now you the villain.
Yeah. And what you also, like, if I'm making him clean up after himself at my house, and then you not, when he gets with a girl, he gonna be like, well, regardless of what my daddy told me, my mama cleaned up after me. So now he leaving his drawers on the floor at Shorty crib, and she gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck you got going on? What you think this is? You know what I'm saying?
And think about, to tie this back to like being a stepfather and shit. Yeah. So let's just say, you know, how I want to spin this. So let's just say you send your kid over to, you know, his mom's house, and the boyfriend or the husband or whatever the case may be, now he's a stepfather too. Mm-hmm. Another thing, you can't control what go on in his house. You know what I'm saying? So, let's just say it's basically the same thing with the dad and the mom. Yeah. But now he's low key kind of controlling the narrative, and if it ain't up to your standard, you're gonna take that L too. Exactly.
So, and that's why I'm saying we gotta stop blaming women for getting pregnant and understand that she can't get pregnant unless you busting her, and these are the risks that you're taking when you busting in a chick that you don't see a future with.
Let's talk about some. What are some cons you feel like that comes with being a stepdad?
I feel like the biggest con is if you break up with the girl, you lose access to the kids. That's the biggest con. Like you could imagine if you with a girl and let's say she got a goddamn 1-year-old. I don't even know if somebody would do that. But let's just say, for example, you with a girl, let's say she got a 1-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Everything cool, but she got a 1-year-old. And shit, this the girl for you. So you say, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. Let's say y'all together till that kid 9 years old.
Yeah.
Y'all break up. That kid isn't old enough to where you might be the person for the rest of his life. It's not like he's 16. Mm-hmm. He's 9. She's going to move on and date someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still dad. You get what I'm saying? Because you've been dad if you started dating her when that baby was 1, you that nigga daddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now he 9 years old. If she dates somebody else from time that he 9 to 18.
I think you're still safe.
Are you?
In her eyes, or in his eyes, in the child's eyes.
Are you? I ain't seen that again. 9. I'm 18. I ain't really been around in 9 years.
Oh well,
this nigga that's around now is like, you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's like, how do that kind of leave you in a weird position? Because it's like, nigga, that's 8 years. It's like your kid, bro.
Yeah.
Especially if you got him, he couldn't even walk when you got him.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
That emotional bond that get created with that's your child.
But it ain't if y'all break up.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like
to you, that's your child.
Right. So if y'all break up and she move on and get a new nigga, what are you gonna co-parent with her? And it's not biologically your kid?
That's insane.
Like you love the kid, but are you gonna co-parent with her?
I feel like the best thing
that you gonna do?
The best thing you could do. Well, damn, they so young. I was finna say, you know, you could keep that relationship like, yo, if you need anything, reach out type shit. But
you could probably do that at 9 though. Kids got cell phones.
It's different times. Okay.
But I think even over the course of the next 9 or the rest of life, that bond just talking shit through the phone, especially if you've essentially been replaced by this other guy. You know what I'm saying?
So that's one of the cons for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I dated a girl for like 4 months and we fell out, and I'm just like, I was like, I thought it was my dog. Like we was hella tight. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, now I don't. I just see her on Instagram. Like,
damn. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's another con? You inherently sign up for additional financial responsibilities.
Yeah. If she need help.
If she needs help. But yeah, if she needs help for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're gonna court a woman with a kid, like you need to have that in the back of your head that you're going to contribute financially to everybody. Like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to take that into account if you're gonna go all the way with this woman.
For sure.
So that could be a con, and that's another reason why, you know, guys will say it is a con, because that's more resources. You got to work harder as a man. You got to be more. You got to become more successful. You got to go do all of this. Like you have to become more.
If she need help.
If she needs help.
I don't want to paint this picture that every chick with a kid is on Section 8.
Whoa.
Because that's how niggas make it seem. Like when niggas be like, oh, you know, Sierra went to Russell Wilson. Sierra's a fucking millionaire. Right, she don't need to date Russell. She don't need to date nobody. Like she don't need help. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm making 6 figures and I'm dating a chick that's making 6 figures and she got a child, and we moved to the same household, I just added $100,000 to my household and one kid. We're fucking fine.
We good.
Like, we're good. I don't need to go out and make a ton of more money because it's another kid in the household. Like, she just added $100K with one kid. Like, we're excellent.
We'll be okay.
This bitch. Like, so I just don't want to paint that picture. You know what I'm saying? Because it is women with kids that's doing great. Like,
I know one.
I know quite a few of them. So, you know what I'm saying? Are you going to have to, buy the kid shit? Yeah, you're going to have to do all that. But, nigga, it's way more bread in your household. It's not hurting you, like, to spend some money on some fucking shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Unless she one of them chicks that's like, oh, my money is my money and your money is all of our money. Like, then she got you fucked up, and that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But no, that's just one of the things you still got to, think about.
You got to think about it. You got to think about it, for sure. Not negating that. What's another downside? If the kid don't like you.
Oh, yeah.
I can't date a chick who kid don't like me.
Like, I don't think I've ever been in a, I never really dated women with kids for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a homie who was dating a chick who the kid didn't like him. The dad kind of painted a narrative to kind of make the kid not like him.
That's some whole ass shit.
And the kid went with it. You know what I'm saying? And it really hurt the situation because it's like, the kid lived with him and he buy the kid everything. He pay the kid phone bill. You know what I'm saying? He hold the whole crib down. He paying all the bills.
How you get him to switch up like that?
Your daddy is your daddy. That's kind of, how kids are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm around you all the time, but I don't know what it is. Like, I even know, like, even growing up, you would see niggas who daddy don't even fuck with them for real, but they love that nigga though.
That's a
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
the nigga barely around, but it's like, you were down there, he come around, you act like you don't know your mama no more. It's like,
hey, that be pissing the moms off. Like,
this nigga ain't shit. Like, for sure.
But now let's talk about some pros though. Some more pros. Like, I don't know, like, it's when it comes to little girls and like little boys. I don't have a girl, right? I have a son. Yeah. So if I date a woman with a girl, like, in my mind, that's automatically like, that's my daughter. That's the girl that I never got. You know what I'm saying? And you get to cultivate that relationship and just extend the village. And I'm never like trying to come in and be the father. But I'm here if you need me type shit. And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. And I think it got to come from a state of selflessness. And I think that make all the difference between the pros and the cons. Because like we said, like if you are with a kid for a long time and then you're not with him no more, it's kind of like you kind of got to remember, like, whatever I did and, whatever way I helped, that was for them. And Facts. They still got that help at the end of the day, and they still benefited from my presence, and I still added value. I still taught them things, and that's gonna sit with them. You know what I'm saying? If we able to have a relationship when they get older and they able to reach out to them, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I think you have to be operating from a level of selflessness in that position. But obviously, I think that in the Black community, I think it's kind of anti-Black to be against stepfathers. Like, we got all these fucking kid boys running around. We got all these little kids and shiesties running around. Man. We got so many lost fatherless children. For you to say that a man to take care of a fatherless child, is the worst thing he could do, that shit is crazy. Like, that's damn that anti-Black, bro. We got to start a coalition against these niggas.
And not only like the whole, you just use the example of like the kid boys and, but it's extremely important for little girls to have father figures in their lives too, because we can see it as we've been dating, the women who didn't have those father figures, it shows up so much in how they date, how they think, how they how their emotions are and everything, versus if if you was in a young lady's life and you show her that love and that respect and show her how she should be treated and stuff like that. I see nothing but, for the most part, pros when it comes to being a part of a kid's life. Like, you should be, that's honorable.
It is.
It truly is. Like,
it is.
It's but it got to be selfless. Yeah. Like, I can say I don't need credit for that. I don't need, but I did this. Woo. Like, no, while I was there, Like, this is the value that I brought.
And it don't matter if it's the chick you dating kid. It don't matter if it's your nephew.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's a kid. It was just 2 kids on my porch doing, before he walked in, when Red walked in, I just had 2 kids on the porch from down the block doing push-ups and shit because they asked me for $1. I didn't even have $1. I told them I had $1 before I told them to do the push-ups. So I had to finesse them. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we just fuck with kids. Like, at the end of the day, like you was talking about when you was at the boxing gym.
Oh, yeah.
And you one of the only dads there, so the kids just gravitating to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that made me feel good. Man, you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like that little boy, and it was sad, but it made me feel good too. Cause like for the listeners, I was taking my son to boxing every day, and like I'm one of the only parents that's in there. And obviously it's a bunch of little boys, and the little boys just constantly see me show up every single day. You know, and I got Trey with me, and Trey doing his drills, he's sparring, and I'm cheering him on, I'm giving him pep talks or whatever. So they started to gravitate towards me. Like, what's up, Mr. Jones? What's going on? And I'm chopping it up with them, just making them feel loved. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Asking how they day, like what's going on. And now they looking for me when it's time to, you know, take Trey to the boxing thing. Yeah. And it feel good.
And that's what I'm learning in my 9 to 5 is that, you know, a lot of times you see the image of, you know, these kids running around these shiesty masks and stealing cars and this and that, and you feel like, oh, these niggas just lost cause. Like, they wild as hell. I don't want to have no conversation with one of them little niggas. They probably this, they probably do that. And it's like, really, bro? All of them thirsty for guidance, bro. They not easy. They not hard to connect with. You know what I'm saying? If you being genuinely yourself, it don't matter if you from the hood, the suburbs, whatever. You being genuinely yourself, and you coming around them, and you feel like, hey, I want to help you. They're looking for it. They thirsty for it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like being a stepfather, being an uncle, being like, you might got a female friend that got a son.
Oh, lit.
Whatever the case may be, it's all the same. Like, girls be confused as hell when I be on the phone, and I be like, yeah, I had took one of my kids down to the school. They be like, nigga, how many kids you got? I'm like, I'm talking about one of my the young guys I work with that I mentor. I refer to them as my kids, like, all the time. Like, it's really how I talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be like, shit, I'm in the car with one of my kids right now. I'll call you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it really ain't no difference to me. Like, it ain't nothing I wouldn't do for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it really came down to it, like, but. And I get them calls, like, you know, a lot of them that I mentor, they don't have fathers and shit like that, or their father's not in the home and not really active, or just like a terrible role model, whatever the case may be. I get them calls at damn near midnight, like, he just robbed somebody, woo, come get this nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
one of your kids?
The moms, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like, those moms is like hitting my phone, like, hey, I need you, like, he doing this right now, this was going on, can you come get him, can you come talk to him right now, woo, woo. I'm getting up, like, damn, what the fuck happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't finna let this nigga crash out.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's beyond the scope of my job for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it's just like, if you give a damn, you give a damn. Like, you know, so I don't see it being no different with if I'm dating a girl and she got a kid, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But what's some of the parameters that you would have around dating a girl with a kid? Like some type of boundary that you would have? Mine is always, again, the kid gotta like me. If the kid don't like me, I'm out.
Some boundaries. My boundaries for like her having kids.
Yeah, like some parameters that you like. If it ain't like this, then I can't fuck with it.
Obviously, respect wise, because I'm never gonna physically discipline somebody else. Like the woman I'm dating, kids.
Yeah.
Especially whether the dad in the life, dad not in the life. I'm not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? So coming into it, your kids do have to be, you know, some well-rounded kids that for me. Now I'll fuck around, mentor some badass kids, but I don't I don't know. Like, cause I don't want to come into a situation where I'm being disrespected and I gotta try to put a stop to it. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just respectful kids. You know what I'm saying? Like my son and like my son and his mom's boyfriend. Yeah. Like that's how he do things. I remember one time he called me like, yo, your son over here, he talking back to his mama, woo woo. He like he like, hey, I ain't feeling that. Like, I don't know if you know this, but this is what he just did. Right. I instantly get up, go get on his ass. I'm pissed like I saw it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I also excuse me, I also respected him for calling me.
Yeah.
That's the type of relationship that I will have, you know what I'm saying, with whoever I'm dating's kid's father. You know
I think that's a parameter for me. That's what I was gonna say after you actually, is that I gotta have a good relationship with the guy, you know what I'm saying, with the actual father. Like if I'm the stepfather, I gotta have a good relationship with the father. If he's in the picture. If he's not in the picture, it just is the fuck it is. But if he around, I wanna have a good relationship with him, because kids get to a certain age, they get to that rebellious phase, and they'll play niggas against each other. If they know we don't like each other, they are like, you will be rocking with them. They get, nigga, you ain't my daddy.
Right.
And they fuck with you, but it's like they in their rebellious phase. They hit 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how that shit go? You know? So I have to have a good relationship to the point where ain't none of that. Like me and him on the same page. You already know, nigga. He on what I'm on what he on. It's the same shit. So it got to just be a full village. It can't be no incomplete, like this nigga not with the program. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever the, baby daddy is, like, oh, he ain't with the program. Like I can't fuck with that.
Especially like with how I know I am, how solid I'm coming, and I'm not in here. I'm not trying to be a father to your like if he, let's just say the example, he in his kid's life. Yeah. I'm not trying to be their father. Yeah. I'm an extension of the support. I'm an extension of the village, and we got to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Especially I'm gonna be around your kids or whatever, or let's just say I gotta pick them up from you, whatever the case may be. Yeah. I'm here to stay, so we finna make this shit, you know what I'm saying, safe for the shorties, comfortable, welcoming. Like we finna create a real village if it got anything to do with me.
For sure. Hey, let's go through some scenarios that could happen.
All right.
So
I know this is even make up some crazy.
Let's say this. Scenario number 1. The father isn't present throughout the kid's childhood. It's the kid's graduation day, high school graduation. Mm-hmm. You've been there the whole time. The father haven't. The kid only get 2 tickets to graduation. The mom are off top getting 1, but the father pop up and he want to go.
He's not getting in.
He not getting in?
No.
The biological father can't get in?
No.
That's tough. I don't know. I think I would give it to him. How
does the mom feel about it?
I don't care.
No. Like, so wait. So just off top, okay. So you've been there all this time.
If he want to go, first of all, it's not. I've been there the whole time. Like this one day, this one moment is like, nigga, I've been here the whole time. If you want this, you can have it, bro. You want to take a picture with your kid graduate, you can have it.
Meet him outside.
Whether you been there or not. You might just want to see him walk across the stage. You ain't seen shit else. You ain't seen the first steps. Maybe these the steps you need to see that you missed. Like I've been there the whole time. It don't mean that much to me.
I'm not thinking about me right now. I'm thinking about the kids.
Yeah.
You don't know how that could go. They could be happy to see him there. They could be like, what? That could fuck up the whole.
Yeah.
You did. You know what I'm saying? Because the way you just said the scenario, he hadn't been there at all. Like this nigga just randomly pop up. Like I'm at the graduation. Yeah. You might fuck up my kids' whole vibe. Like you might like they probably don't even want to see you.
Now the kids don't want to see him, and they talk.
That's why I said no from.
But if the kid cool with it, I'm cool with it. Shit.
If the kid cool with it,
yeah, I ain't tripping at all.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say that, and I might be a person who like I ain't give a fuck with my own college graduation. I'm getting a diploma. I don't give a fuck about walking across. I was in the hallway the whole graduation, like my college graduation. Yeah. I didn't go in. Like I was in the hallway. So I didn't give a fuck. Cause like nigga, I'm getting this diploma regardless. Like I don't know. Never mind. I ain't gonna go there.
Let's say the dad is not around.
Right.
You there. Son in that rebellious age, 12, 13 years old, whatever. And you witness him talking crazy to the mom, and he push her.
Oh, I'm snatching his ass up.
What you doing?
But I'm also like, I'm not the nigga who won't physically discipline another nigga kid. Mm-hmm. I used to tell, when I was a teacher, and I used to take kids to boxing practice, I used to tell the parents, like, your kid can't come with me if I can't hem their ass up, G. Like, they can't. Like, and if you don't want them to come with me, that's cool, but your kid can't get in my car. They can come to the boxing gym, and I can see them at school. Your kid can't get in my car if I can't hem their ass up, they get to tweaking, G, because I'm going to hem them the fuck up. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not the nigga that's going to ever agree to that. Like, if a kid living in my crib, I ain't the type that's taking out belts, whooping niggas, but I will.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Fuck up. Like,
that's what I'm thinking of when I think of like abuse or disciplining them, like a whooping. I don't know what the fuck to call it.
Acting real anti-black today, man.
I don't know what the fuck to call it. I want to be politically correct.
Ass whooping. Like, what do you mean? Ass whooping.
But nah, that's what I'm thinking of, like a
trying to
whooping.
break generational curses around this bitch. Today ain't the day, nigga.
Nah, I didn't. Yeah, Trey got abused, but look. But no, that's what I thought of when it came to like disciplining the kid. I can't visually see myself
I
whooping with a belt.
Yeah.
But like if it's a young man or some absolutely, you know what I'm saying? I could hit me up
for
type
sure.
shit.
But yeah, if it's physical harm, that's just a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Physical harm. But what else we got, man? Let's say what if the kid and the dad having their own dispute and they get into a physical altercation. Let's say the kid's 17, you've been with him since he was 7. You 10 years in. Him and his dad not seeing eye to eye. He buck up with his dad, they get to fighting.
You better hold your own.
Dad get the best of him.
You gotta look. We can talk about it after.
Dad get the whooping his ass. You ain't gonna.
Hey, you got to bob and weave, my boy. Like,
okay.
That's your daddy, G. Like, I mean, you tested another grown ass man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You felt like you could.
Right.
Whatever the case may
what if
be.
the dad ain't been in his life though?
Oh, I fuck around. We might jump him. We might jump him.
Facts.
We might jump him. You just ain't finna come. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, facts. Oh God.
We finna beat your ass. Hey, I'm gonna put your ass in the hammock and let my boy just go crazy on you.
I was in an odd situation where I was dating a girl and was cool with her kids. You know what I'm saying? She had two kids.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I knew her baby daddy, but I knew them separately. But I knew both of them. So when I met her and started dating her, I didn't know that I knew her baby daddy, but I knew him.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't know that I was dating his baby mama.
Uh-huh.
She would tell me all about her baby daddy, not knowing that I knew the nigga. And I didn't know that I knew the nigga.
Yeah.
So when I found out that I knew the nigga, I knew both of them, it was weird as fuck. Cause it's just like, I talked to this nigga and he always talk about some manhood shit, some fatherhood shit, some this, some that. And he posts about that shit all the time. And then I'm fucking with this BM, you know, and like, I don't feel bad about it. I'm not that close to niggas, so I wouldn't feel bad about it anyway. But I genuinely didn't know that these motherfuckers even knew each other. You know what I'm saying? But she telling me the real, and it's just like the story is just not adding up. Like this nigga was like a terrible dad. Yeah. And like I was in a situation where I damn near had to pick up, you know what I'm saying? Damn, and that shit was like that scenario was kind of tough because it was like sooner or later this nigga's gonna find out that, you know what I'm saying, I fuck with his BM and that I'm around his kids and shit. And I feel like the longer it take to find out, it's gonna be weird because I talk to this nigga weekly on like DM, just you know, regular shit like that. So that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I actually never dated a woman. This is crazy. I don't know how this played out, but a lot of the women that I would date, they just never had kids.
For sure.
And I also had said I wouldn't date a woman who had more than one kid.
For sure.
You know, and let's just say things change.
For sure. Yeah, it be like that sometimes, you know. Love come in different packages.
It do.
Yeah, sometimes it's a set.
Sometimes it's a set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up, man.
Oh yeah, we smooth. We good. So all right. So to piggyback on my therapy session. So I was in therapy. My therapist, we was chopping it up like we do. You know, great relationship with her, and I journal a lot. So she was asking me, you know, we hadn't talked in a month, and she like, you know, when the last time you journal? I'm like, I've been on top of my journaling. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? I got my journal right there. Like I had an entry this day. And she like, okay, what you journaling about? And I'm like, just not to tell y'all my business and shit. But I told her, and after I told her, she's like, she said, when the last time you like just wrote a journal entry and just celebrated yourself? Like I hear a lot of things that you want to improve. I hear a lot of things that you want to change. I hear a lot of some stuff that happened. But when the last time you just took a step back and talked about everything you've already accomplished? And then she get to naming everything I've accomplished over the last 2 years. And that what really put shit in perspective for me. I'm like, damn. Like, well, last 2 years, I definitely came a long way. Like in almost in every area. And I got lost in the fact that what I'm pursuing and what I'm after, that I stopped paying attention to how far I came. And so I encourage y'all to do the same thing. Hopefully I put that on y'all mind and because everybody could be critical on themselves as far as, you know, because we in this thing called life, we trying to get better, we trying to do better. But I guarantee you, some aspect of your life that you prayed for at one point and you living in it right now. So she just put that in perspective for me to just write a journal entry on everything I'm proud of and everything I've done and reflect on that versus what I'm trying to accomplish and change.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. That's dope, man. So as we wrap up, man, all my people out there, if you chasing something or if you want more out of life, you want to start chasing something, I just want to encourage y'all, man, to take that shot, man, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Start the business, shoot your shot at that girl, you know, ask for that promotion, whatever it is, man. Shoot or shoot. We out.
We out.
So, God in the king.